Okay, so a couple of things really quick. You should have grabbed the paper from the back table. We don't have a warm up today, mainly because since I've had a sub twice this week, and normally on Friday we do the warm up quiz over what we've done, or that's what the plan has been. We only had 2 of those this week, and I didn't give them to the sub to hand back to you yesterday. So.
Oh, you had a sub yesterday?
I did have a sub yesterday because I've gone for UIL comp.
If you're here, Connor, I'll see.
And so, so I chose to not do a warm up quiz today for those reasons. So there's no warm up quiz today. The notes today are really short. I told you Wednesday that we're not learning anything new after Wednesday's assignment. I was just going to show you a different technique today for doing the factoring. So that's what we're doing. This is a new technique that, and they will have a lot of time to work on stuff, answer questions on previous assignments, whatever. So your Go formative and your Get More Math from Monday and Tuesday are due before midnight tonight. Those are online. You need to get them done before midnight. Okay. Your 3 papers that were actual papers, so your Wednesday's Xbox paper, your paper from yesterday, which is back here. So if you were gone yesterday, that sum and product paper is back there. And then the paper from today are all due no later than Monday at the beginning of class.
Roger.
The one with the X's on it. That one, yes. Okay, you only had to do, you got to pick 8 on either 8 from each side to do minimum.
So 8 from this side, 8 from this side.
Your choice. Yep. Okay. So on your paper that you picked up, it's this one. Factoring trinomials like a rock star.
Like a rock star.
This one, goodness.
Oh my. Oh my God.
It kind of weighs up today, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And that's the other day.
Great.
Yeah.
So what happens when I talk in my mask all the time? Okay. Hey. So the very first thing, always when you're factoring, the very first thing you should do, the very first step you should take is to factor out the greatest common factor. Hey, Jordan, I have an extension cord right here that should reach to your desk if you want.
Can I use a pen on this?
Hmm?
Can I use a pen?
You can. It's your notes. Yeah. Did you grab that green cord and take it over to Jordan on your way that way?
Yeah, I got it. I got you, Jordan.
With that and his Chrome charger, it should reach, right?
That's present. Right. You just gotta, I got your old seat.
Okay. So first step, factor out the greatest common factor. That's what we were doing on Tuesday. That's what we were practicing. Okay. Second step, draw your star. Okay, that's what the asterisk star looking thing is. It's already drawn on this paper for you. Okay, and put in the A, the AC, and B. Okay. Next step, find the factors of AC that add up to B. So that's what you were practicing yesterday. You were practicing how to get those factors that multiply together to give you that AC or one number and add together to give you the other number. Okay. Write those under the A's. Okay, so where you put your A's, those stars right there, that's where your factors are. Okay, gonna go. Your next step is to reduce those resulting ratios or fractions. Okay. Keep your negatives. Your negatives are going to stay wherever they are. Your A's shouldn't have a negative. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. Factor out that -1 if your A is negative. So your A shouldn't be negative in your star, which means if it's a negative ratio or a negative fraction, that bottom number keeps your negative. Last step, use those ratios to create two factors. Okay. You could say binomials, okay? You're going to create two binomials. And be sure to add your greatest common factor, okay, at the bottom or on your factors.
Are we supposed to be writing something?
All those things that are typed on there are fill in the blanks on your paper.
Wow, Yvonne.
Besides that.
As of right now, no. Other than what's in the fill in the
I'm gonna wash
blanks.
my hands.
Yeah, I think I have here.
Oh, Cutter, why are you taking my phone?
Here,
Put
Abraham.
it back in my desk.
So our very first example is this one. Is there a greatest common factor between 6, 17, and 5?
Yes.
X.
Yeah, X squared. Right?
I don't think there is one.
There's not. 5 and 17 are both prime numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, no.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so what's my A? What's the number for my A?
You're,
A 6.
you're
What's the number for my B?
You're 17.
What's my A times my C?
Is
So 5.
A times my C.
It's a
Oh,
square.
never mind,
82,
never
right?
mind,
It's
yeah.
a square, right? 30.
30.
30
Oh,
square.
Okay.
but it's a
38.
Because
square number.
it's 6 times 5,
Yeah.
which is 30. Okay. I'm going to use those numbers to fill in my star. So what goes in the top here?
30.
30. What goes in the bottom?
17.
38.
Okay. What goes on my sides?
6.
No,
6.
yeah,
Wait,
6.
yeah, 6.
When you get 66 on each side.
So,
Yo, wouldn't it be 1 on that diagonal from 6?
No.
okay, I'm going to create a list. Okay, because some people can figure out what the factors are right away, some of them cannot. So I'm going to make a list to help us figure out what those factors are. Okay. So if my top is positive and my bottom is positive, what does that mean my two factors are going to be? Positive. So I already know my two factors are positive. So I know they're going to add together to give me 17. Start with 1. 30 divided by 1 is what?
30.
30. So those are my factors. Does 30 plus 1 equal 17?
No.
No. Okay. So 2 times, or 30 divided by 2 is what?
15.
15. Does 15 plus 2 equal 17?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need to find any more factors because I've already got my 2 that are going to work. So 2 and 15. So the next step is to reduce these ratios. So you're going to treat this like a fraction. Okay? So what will 6 and 2 both reduce by?
3.
3. They'll both divide, nope, they won't both divide by 3.
2.
They'll both divide by 2, which gives me 3 over
1.
1.
Which is 3.
Which is too bad. I need to keep it as a ratio. I need to keep it where I have both of those numbers. So I want to see both of them on there. You'll see why in a moment. Okay? So what about 6 and 15? They both divide by 3. Okay, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 15 divided by 3 is? So this is now the information that I need to write my factors. This number on top, because it came from your A, is the number that goes with your X. So we've got 3x plus 1. Okay. What's my next parentheses going to look like?
2x
Two.
plus 5.
Yeah,
2x plus 5.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do. I'm gonna just check it by using the FOIL method real quick. Okay, so 3x times 2x is 6x squared because they're multiplying, right? 3x times 5
15.
is 15x. Okay, 1 times 2x
2.
and 1 times 5.
5.
Okay, so this equals 17x. So does this match? 6x squared matches my first term up there.
Yeah.
Okay, and 17x matches my middle term.
Yeah.
And 5 matches my last term.
Yeah.
Okay, so it checks out. So this is my answer. Okay, so this factored is my answer there. So this next one. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to fill it in yourself. See if you can fill it in. You don't have to do the factors just yet, but fill in the parts that you can fill in. Check for a greatest common factor.
What's that thing though?
Where's what thing go?
Remember that charging station?
It's over here.
It's over here.
And I actually added some chords to it as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what y'all have. What's your A?
Your A is
2,
What's your B?
7,
7.
And your AC?
-4.
A times C. So it should be -8. What goes in the top?
Oh, -8.
And in the bottom?
7.
7 and 2.
And then 2.
2 on my sides.
You good.
Okay. So now, to figure out my factors, okay, if my top is a negative number, what does that mean about my two sides?
So one's going to be a positive and one's going to be a negative.
One's going to be a positive, one's going to be a negative. Okay, is my bigger number going to be positive or my smaller number
Your
positive?
bigger number.
My bigger number has to be the positive. So when I make my factors, I know that this side needs to be my negative and this side needs to be my positive number. So -1 times 8.
Is 8 and then you can then
Does that work?
1 is 7. Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to figure out any more factors, right? So -1 and 8. Because I had already written my plus and minus sign that way. So so now, can I reduce anything?
Yes.
Yes,
The 2 and the 8.
Okay, the 2 and the 8
exactly.
reduce to what?
To 1/4.
1/4. Okay. Does my 2 over -1 reduce?
No.
No. If there's a 1, you're not going to reduce it any. You're just going to leave it. Okay? So I'm going to use those to make my. So I've got what?
2x.
You got 2x minus.
Nope.
No, 2x plus. No times.
Okay, hang on a second. Which fraction are you using first? I'm using this first one to make this first parentheses.
I thought you were
wrote
using
it
2.
back. I wrote it backward.
Okay, so 1.
Oh, so you wrote your back. Okay.
Plus
There we go. So x plus 4
Oh,
Okay, the top number goes first, the bottom number goes second. So the top number goes with your x. Okay, so if you wrote your fractions backwards, or wrote them on the other sides, then you would have 2x minus 1 right here, right? Instead, and then you would have the x plus 4 as your second one. Right? Because I wrote them this way, I have 2x minus 1 as my second one. So either order that you write them in is fine, as long as you have both of them. Okay? Did we have a greatest common factor in this one?
2.
No.
No, we didn't. 7 is a prime number, and it's not even, so the other numbers are even. So there was no greatest common factor in this one. If there's a greatest common factor, we should take it out first anyway. Okay, so there wasn't one.
What's
Okay.
like the bottom one? Is that?
So now the bottom one, they give us a hint, don't they, Yvonne? What do they have over at the side here?
That they, yeah.
Okay. So what is the greatest common factor on this one?
4? No, 2.
2. Okay. 2. But also, what else?
X.
X. Okay. If there's an X on the last term, then there's always going to be an X that you need to pull out. Okay. So just because there's not an X on the last term doesn't mean there's not a greatest common factor. There could still be a greatest common factor that's a number, okay, just not a variable. So now rewrite it. Come on. So how do I rewrite that original one after I pull out the 2x? What am I doing when I pull out that 2x?
It's gonna be 2x.
I've got to divide by that 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you can write your 1 there if you need to. And then how many x's are left if I pull 1 out?
2.
2. 4 divided by 2?
2.
2. How many x's are left if I pull 1 out? And then negative 30 divided by 2?
Negative 15.
Negative 15.
And do I have an x left?
No.
No.
Did you add your exponent there for the 1? For 2x?
Oh, you don't have to write the 1, right? You can. It's invisible. You don't have to write it.
I just wanted.
So now what is my a going to be?
Your A is gonna be 15. Negative 15.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 2x.
No.
Okay, so oops.
It's 25.
Up here. Okay, if you don't remember,
You multiply it. So
hey, here's my a. My a is the number in front of my x squared. My b is my number in front of my x, and my c is on the end. So when I ask you which one's my a, what's my a?
Your A is 2x.
Oh, it's
Or no,
1.
yeah.
My a is 1.
Oh, you're talking at the bottom.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh.
I was talking
Okay.
about the star.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So after you factor out the greatest common factor, Abraham, take your hood off for me, please.
I'm sorry.
When you factor out your greatest common factor, you're using your new one that's simplified.
It's 2x
And then we've got 2,
And then negative 15.
and then negative 15.
So then,
So-
then would we multiply the new one for the top number?
Yes, you're using the new one. You're using the new one from that point on.
Appropriate words on your calculator?
No.
But it would be the same because it's by 1.
So negative 15,
And then 2 on the bottom,
2 on the bottom,
and then 1 on the side.
1 and 1. Okay, then if I'm making my factors of negative 15, 1 has to be positive and 1 has to be negative.
So negative 1.
So negative 1 and 15. Does that equal 2 when I add them?
No.
No. Negative 2. Well, it doesn't divide by negative 2. So negative 3. Negative 15 divided by negative 3
It's 12.
is 12. Does that equal 2?
No.
Negative 4. That doesn't work. Negative 5.
Yes.
times what?
Times 2? No, no, no,
Three.
no.
Negative 5
Times
times
three.
3?
Equals negative.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I have a question for you. Hang on a second. If I go back here a second,
Wait, no, it's because, no. Three's
what
gotta be
happened up
negative.
here?
Three's gotta be negative.
Why did we say negative 3 times 12?
I don't even know why that popped up.
What should that have been?
5.
5.
See, that's what I was saying.
Spicy.
Okay, so did that one work?
Yes.
Yeah, so we should have seen that here. But if you don't see it and you keep going, you'll eventually, right? Okay, so we've got negative 3 and 5. Are those going to reduce any? Are those going to reduce any? No. No, because we've got a 1. Remember, boys, remember to put your 2x out front. You won't get the right answer if you don't put the 2x out front. Won't make it right when you do it.
When you use the wrong.
Okay, so we've got 1x minus 3 and 1x plus 5. And that's it. Okay, so that's all of your notes for today. The backside is your homework.
Jory, you're so nice.
Okay, so 2 things. There are 2 of them that do have a greatest common factor that you need to factor out first. So if your number ends up really big,
I know which one it is.
you probably forgot to factor out your greatest common factor first.
This one is the greatest common factor.
So next, okay, I'm going to bring around a few things. Okay, one of the things I'm going to bring around is this paper. It says ways to factor. So if you did not like either of the methods that I taught you, there is a gazillion ways to factor. A whole bunch of different methods. Okay, so I'm going to bring you around this paper and you can look through it. But the main thing is that very first box that's at the top. That's that rules about the positives and the negatives written out for you. Okay, how to tell if it's positives or negatives when you factor. I'm also going to bring around your warm up from Wednesday, hand it back to you so you have it. And I'm going to pass out to you the test review for Unit 9. The test review only has 20 questions on it. So what does that tell you about the test?
It's easy.
It's short.
The test is short. We will still have 2 days. We'll have Tuesday and Wednesday next week to do the test. Because I've got a lot of people that are going to be out one day or the other. So that way, hopefully, you can get it done in one day if that you're going to be gone the other day. Or you can get it finished up during the homeroom.
Wait, why is
Okay.
everybody gonna be gone Tuesday and Wednesday?
FFA, whatever. There's a few things going to be gone next week. Okay. And then, okay, so those are the 3 things I'll come around and hand out to you. Then I will answer questions for you. Any homework that you need to turn in to me that's on paper needs to go in my box at the back. Okay. The 2 digital things need to get done. I've already put grades in for some of them, so if you need to, then get those finished up and ask questions.
The 2 digital things to get more
Professor,
math.
what you choose this morning?
The Get More Math and the Go Formative from Monday and Tuesday.
I was like, I think I did it. Okay.
Yeah, those 2 things. That's what I mean by digital. Everything else this week was paper copy to turn in to me.
Wait, I don't remember.
You had to go formative and then you Get More Math.
Oh.
Those are digital.
Are these the 2 common greatest factors? Okay. The music.
When
Did you just say?
Monday?
Oh, yeah.
And
Everything that you're turning in paper copy wise.
That's why.
It's due Monday. That's due Monday.
Let's do Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I was confused about.
Hey, bro.
Okay, so it's our supposed to be these numbers?
Cutter, what are you doing on the ground, bro?
It should be this number because that's the box number. Like if you had this information, then you would and how would it look the box. So yes, this one, right here, that box should be your
No,
box.
it's
Yes, it does.
BT Cobra.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Holy,
What?
what are you talking about? You said it first. I know that you watching.
Is there a kind of restroom?
No, it's.
Oh, wait, and Josh comes back.
Oh, I didn't know. That man's always going to the restroom. He's full of baby.
I explained it to you.
If we don't
Before I
want to go
handed them
away, you are asleep, Juan. That's why you.
Holy Jesus.
Huh.
There's nothing to do with this.
Oh,
No.
it's the worst than
And
yesterday.
yes, if you want
Like
to.
yesterday, I was at school. You know how it is.
And, oh, and the packet that I handed out, the other reason I'm handing it out to you is because if you turn in your paper today and you need, the STAR method notes, they're on that last page. So if you need a refresher of how to do it, it's on the last page of this packet, since that your notes are on the front side of your
No, they
book.
were blue.
Does that make sense? So that's the other reason why I'm giving you this packet.
I was like, yeah, lost this.
After I pass these out, if there's anybody who needs, stuff from earlier this week, since I was here yesterday and couldn't give it to you, then,
You
I
just
coughed
sneeze
my
on the
arm.
board.
I coughed my arm. Look at you, bro. Quit trying to step on my feet.
Yeah. Yeah, sneezing your.
Hey,
Buddy,
you
we
got
can have
my
it.
love.
I need my phone
Trash,
today.
trash.
Yeah, look at it.
Play.
Yeah.
Play.
What happened? I had to press my hand out. My hand.
One.
Yeah, I want
Not throwing it away.
it. Give it to me. I got that ride, I told
You
you.
never shoot, you knew exactly where it was. You would go right up underneath there.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Let's go, bro. Good kid.